How green is your number plate? The government announces a consultation on whether to give electric and low-emissions vehicles green number plates. This is intended to encourage the sales of more of these vehicles. It's an idea from Chris Grayling's time at the Department of Transport. What could possibly go wrong? Hello, this is Anthony Day with an extra edition of the Sustainable Futures Report. I had a chat with Julia Hartley-Brewer this morning, and do you know, we mainly agreed.
Right, let's turn our attention to something completely different. Although, not really, because the sort of thing Harry and Meghan go on about a lot, which is the eco stuff. And drivers of electric cars could be given green number plates that allow them to use bus lanes and even to park for free as part of a scheme of costing £1.5 billion to drive the boost of sales of electric vehicles. Town Hall's going to be encouraged to grant incentives to cars with green plates, such as free or cheaper parking. And 3 different designs are being considered. Let's talk about this with Anthony Day, environmental consultant and host of Sustainable Futures Report podcast. Good morning to you, Anthony.
Good morning.
Good morning. Now, I have to say, this is something that would actually appeal even to me, and I'm not one to be this concerned about these sort of issues, because I'm thinking when the electric car thing all takes off and you can bribe me with a plug outside my door, then I'm willing to play. But looking at buying a new car right now, no, can't buy a diesel car, won't be allowed to drive into central London ever without paying 25 quid. Looking at petrol car, and then we looked at a hybrid car, we thought, hold on a minute, the tax on that is so low, you could, all these other things. If there was also the benefit of being able to use the bus lanes and parking for free, that makes it well worthwhile. The trouble is, that can't last for very long, can it? Because as soon as everyone has them, then they won't be able to do that anymore.
I think you're absolutely right. But the thing you just said was, as soon as there's a charging point outside your house, you'll consider an electric car. I think we've got to think about the charging network long before we think about green number plates.
Absolutely. And again, also, I mean, a lot of the people aren't buying green cars because, frankly, they cost a fortune. There aren't that many on the second-hand market, which where most people are buying their cars. And frankly, you know, you have to be in fairly well off to be able to buy yourself a completely green car now, don't you?
Well, there are some cheap ones on the market. There's one that starts at £21,500, which is not a vast amount.
But it's not as cheap as a second-hand diesel car, is it?
Oh, well, no, but nobody wants those, do they? That's why they're cheap.
But they only don't want them because they've made it impossible for people to drive them.
Well, yes. But, I mean, the reason behind that, of course, is air quality. The beauty of an electric car is that it doesn't pollute the air. And you probably saw the news yesterday where higher air pollution is causing heart attacks and strokes and asthma attacks.
Well, Anthony, of course, it doesn't. An electric car doesn't pollute the air around it in the city or wherever it's being driven. It's massive pollution from, of course, the electric generator and the power plant to actually make that electricity that it's powered on.
Yep.
And also,
but you don't have power stations outside primary schools, but you do have traffic jams.
People do live near power stations, so that is one of the keys.
They do, but cities are actually the more polluted areas.
That's absolutely a concern. And again, I think there are a lot of people like me who say, yeah, quite happy to go along with this. So I definitely would think of electric cars as being the future. 10, 20 years' time, they won't be making anything but electric cars. But we can't face the fact of having a car that we can't charge up or we can't go on a long journey on.
No, you're right. But some people can. Some people can use electric cars. It fits in with some people's lifestyle. It's going to be gradual. We've got to make more incentives for people to go electric, but we've got to make it practical, which comes back to the point of having the charging infrastructure.
And you mentioned, again, things like having the incentives like being able to use bus lanes and parking free. I mean, one of the reasons why we have bus lanes is so buses can move freely. There are enough electric cars on the road that would end up meaning that effectively we don't have bus lanes.
Well,
and,
you're
of
right.
course, local councils, they use parking charges as a money-making exercise.
I was going to make both those points. You're absolutely right, yes.
So in which case that probably won't go down so well with local councils.
No, it's a typical example of the government offloading things onto the local council again.
You think so? The Transport Secretary Grant Shapps is launching a 12-week consultation on this. Do you think that actually everyone on the Green side will say yes, but actually the practicalities will kick in quite quickly?
Well, I think Friends of the Earth or one of the others has already said they're very sceptical about it.
If even they are.
Got to be done.
Well, they don't want anyone driving cars at all, so that's a completely different thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's the ultimate goal, but that's a long way off.
Anthony Day, it might be their ultimate goal, it's not mine. Anthony Day, environmental consultant and host of Sustainable Futures Report podcast. Thank you very much. I'd love to get the thoughts of Benjamin Butterworth, and we'll get us this. Will, you've been chuckling away through that.
Yeah, I'm with you, actually. I think, and also Anthony Day, I mean, if there were more charge ports, then I'd consider getting one.
I've got one at the top of my road, but it's a good 10-minute walk.
There's an app, actually, called ZapMap. I don't own an electric car, but I've got the...
You see, we didn't fall out this time. And so the debate goes on. I'm quite sorry that they didn't invite me to the discussion, but then, of course, they might have had to pay me. There will be the usual episode of the Sustainable Futures Report on Friday. If you like the Sustainable Futures Report, please tell your friends. If you don't, please tell me. And if you're not yet one of my valued patrons, you can join their number from as little as $1 a month. Details at patreon.com/SFR. That's patreon.com/SFR. It all helps towards hosting and other costs, and if there's any over, I'll raise a glass to you. I'm Anthony Day. That was a special Sustainable Futures Report. There's another one, as always, on Friday.